And Michael. So I'm recording and I love seeing your faces, but if life is happening that you can't visually be here, I know you're with me. So if you need to, you can turn off your camera. This will be posted on YouTube, and just that you know that. And I see everybody's already muted, so we can get started. Fabulous. I'm just gonna lower this volume. Hold on. New things. Getting there. Good morning. Or actually, hello, because you might be watching this at any time. All of you know me, but I'm going to introduce myself anyway. I'm Dorene Hyman, and welcome to Tools for Life. Many of you know I've been doing, and you've been with me, in this teacher training program for the past year and a half. And it's been a wonderful community and a way to learn about myself. And what I've realized through this program is throughout my life, I've been gathering information and tools for how to be, how to align with myself and with the world. And as a practitioner, as a mom, as a teacher, all of these roles in life have exposed me to experiment and find ways to be, to find better health, deal with my emotions differently, discover my dreams. How do I put out in the world what I want, what I need, staying true to myself and feel at peace with the world? So that's the idea behind Tools for Life. And today I want to share in this introduction Qigong. And many of you may have experiences with Qigong. It's been a year of multiple challenges. I know everybody has been dealing with changes and loss. And recently, a friend of mine, a dear friend, passed away suddenly. And that sense of loss, as well as a full gamut of emotions, because she was so dear to me in my life and just gave me such joy, fun to be with. She was full of life, but it left me in a state of feeling a little scattered and confused. And then on top of that, within just a day or two of that, I discovered I was having some health issues. So that too put me in a place where I felt overwhelmed. And I was in a teaching training class, and my mentor asked me, what do you do when you feel that way, when you feel scattered and overwhelmed? And without any beat in between, I said, I do Qigong, I breathe. And I thought back to other times in my life where I've been in this state and I turned to Qigong. I'd love to share a story of the first time I went internal and what that did in making changes in my life. I was a mom with 2 young kids. My son was 2 and my daughter was 5. And I stopped working at my job. And they brought so much joy as well in my life. But I was missing a sense of me without the work. I was trying to readjust. I had lost my connection to myself. And at the same time, also physically, I was uncomfortable in my body. You know, you have kids, you carry them on your hip, you're always carrying strollers, lugging around packages, food, just bags. You're like the bag lady. And my body was kind of bent and torqued. So I knew I needed help, but I didn't exactly know where to turn. And we were out for a walk in the park one day. I had the two kids with me, and there were a group of people practicing Tai Chi. And we stopped to watch. And it was beautiful. I saw them moving in unison. Oh, and for anybody who's not familiar with Tai Chi, it's a sequence of movements strung together that are actually martial in this form. They're meant for self-defense, but they're also meant for building your energy. And as I watched these people, I felt like I could see them move the air and the space around them. It looked like dance, so I related to it. And I went home, I looked up online about Tai Chi and realized that's what I need. So I registered at a local college and began taking classes. And it's interesting because it's a long series of movements, you have to practice. There's no way to remember this without practice. And so I explained to my children, I'm going to take some time and practice every day. And when I do this, I can't talk to you. At first, my son would run around in circles and pull on my pants, trying to get my attention. And my daughter would stand there with her hands on her hips and go, she's not going to talk to you now. She's doing her Tai Chi. And it was all I could do to not laugh and to stay as present as I could in my practice. But after a period of time, and not that long, they grew bored and they left me alone. And that was an epiphany for me, because as I declared space for myself, they gave it to me. The world gave it to me. And I started paying attention to the principles of Tai Chi, the idea of being rooted to the earth, grounded, secure, stable. And in addition to that strength of the earth, the idea of flexibility, knowing that I could change, I could push my energy forward or turn and just yield and let things pass. And I began to bring those aspects into my life, and my relationships started to change. I noticed even things, little things like at the supermarket, I no longer got into arguments with the people waiting online. And I continued to study. My teacher taught Qigong classes, and I took to that because they were shorter sequences, easier to remember. And at the same time, I was taking classes in food and cooking. And both of these elements of study eventually led me to go to school for Chinese medicine. So I look and think internal practice, that actually changed my life. So today, what I want to share with you is Qigong. A practice, thank you, Susie. A practice that has helped me find that strength and stability and flexibility in my life. A way to align myself internally and with the world around me. Sound interesting? Yeah. Cool. So we're going to spend the next 40 minutes or so hanging out together. We're going to talk about Qi, try to get an understanding of what this word actually means, how it affects us in our life, in our health. And then we're going to do some practice. And we'll gather again and share what we experienced. But before going into this talk mode, I'd love for us to just stop and take a breath for a moment, because so much about Qigong is about breathing and focus and movement. And so I'd like to spend a moment and just breathe. So plant your feet firmly on the floor. We can do this seated. Get comfortable in your chair. Feel your sits bones, your pelvis touch the chair, and just notice your connection to the earth. Your hands can be placed on your lap, facing up, down, rest them on your thighs, or as Susie's doing, you can stand. Whatever you need to do, we're going to take a moment to just breathe and go internal. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Otherwise, a soft gaze. Don't focus on anything. And just notice your breath. Feel your lungs expanding as you inhale. And notice the release when you exhale. Paying attention to your internal rhythms. Just inhaling and exhaling. Our breath is the way we take the world in and then release. And when you're ready, come back to our space. Don't rush it. You can open your eyes and return to us in this room. For me, and it feels really quiet, then I realize you're all muted. But internally, that changes things for me when I stop and pay attention to my breath. And I just wanted us to have that experience together before we begin the conversation. So how was that? Was that interesting? Did that change things for you? You can give me a head nod in any direction. Quieting. I like that, Karen. Thank you. A gesture. That was cool. So obviously, you're all here. The idea of Qigong was appealing to you. So you have a relationship with the word Qi. Now, some people interpret Qi as breath, but I'm curious to know what Qi means to you. So you can type it in the chat. You can raise your hand. I'd love to hear your voice in one way or another. Your words, life force, energy, balance. Nice. Karen and I practice Tai Chi together. Energy flow. I like the word flow in there. Very cool. Always beautiful words. The river of life, breath and water, presence. Oh, wonderful words, because I think Qi is all of this. There is no word in our dictionary for Qi. It's not an English word, and yet we all have relationship to this. I was taught it's the vital force, the vital energy of life. And I think George Lucas had it right when he did Star Wars, right? He called it the force. And that force is imbued in everything in the universe. It's in the air as it moves around us. It's in our food and helps direct the energy. And it's within us. When I was in Chinese medicine school, in one of my first classes, we learned the basic functions of Qi in the body. And let me go to a screen share for this. And one more moment so I can put myself in a present mode. Oops. So chi, what is chi? Oops, there we go. Let me share this. There we go. So chi, I've already put that first word up. Chi moves. In the body, chi moves the blood through the blood vessels. It moves our body parts, right? Our muscles, which moves our skeleton. So chi has an effect on movement. Let me see if I can get the next one to come up. Chi holds. It holds the blood in the vessels. It holds our organs in place. It holds us on this earth. Chi regulates. Chi can regulate our body temperature. Think about it. When we're hot, we sweat, and that sweat cools us. And when we're cold, we shiver, and that warms us. So chi is a regulating factor. Chi protects us. We can think of chi as our immune system. It prevents us or helps us when we're exposed to viruses and bacteria. And last, chi transforms. It takes the food we eat and it breaks it down into nutrients that can be distributed to every cell in the body. So what's interesting is chi, or when I looked up the word energy in the body, it said it's the potential to do work, the capacity to do work. And that word potential or capacity spoke greatly to me. It's a thing, right? Chi is a thing, it's a noun. But at the same time, it's about doing work. It's about doing. It performs a function in our body. So I personally think about it as this thing, but also as an action, as doing. So take a moment. I'm just going to review the idea of it moves, it holds, it regulates and protects and transforms. So a little more on this idea of chi. We come into this world with our prenatal chi. It's our parents' chi, it's our genetics, right? And it gets stored right here in the lower belly, internally. So we come in with this chi from our lineage, and I'm going to call that the chi bank that gets stored in that lower belly. And we draw upon that every day in order to live our life. And so how we live our lives affects the bank account that we have, that chi account. So if we eat healthy foods, if we get 7 or 8 hours of sleep, we spend time meditating or being quiet within us, we have positive thoughts, well, then we add to the chi bank. But if we party a lot, maybe we stay up late, we eat a lot of junk food, spend a lot of time on TV, playing games, have negative thoughts, we might actually be pulling every day from that chi bank, starting to deplete our resources. And over a period of time, we've kind of exhausted our reserves. And that might leave you feeling tired or getting sick easily. So it's important for how you live your life to maintain that chi bank. Another thought, chi moves in pathways, in channels along the body. We call them meridians. And sometimes when we're not in the free flow of life, chi gets stuck. Imagine this, you're driving in your car and you're going at a good clip, you're on the highway, listening to music, everything's good, and suddenly traffic starts to slow. And you can see way up in the distance, there's an accident. Nothing's moving suddenly. And until those cars, that accident gets cleared, you can't move. That's sort of how chi works in the body. We get stuck. We have an incident, a trauma, something emotional that happens in our life, and our energy gets stuck. We become stagnant. And this can manifest as headaches, body aches, or it can be something besides physical. It could be emotional. You could get stuck in a state of depression or anxiety. So we need to move our chi. We need that free flow. And one of the best ways I know about how to move chi is through Qigong. So that's my reason for talking about this today. Any questions about what I mentioned so far? All right, then, enough talk. Let's get up and do. So if you can, I'd love for you to get up out of your chair. If it's early morning, you're having a tough day, you need to sit. Qigong can be done seated. It can even be done in bed. So everybody has access to this form of movement and exercise. I'm going to move my chair. We're going to start, make sure that you can see me. We're going to start with our feet hip distance or a little wider apart. Allow your knees to be soft. Let your tailbone drop. Your shoulders are relaxed and the shoulder blades are resting along the back. Your spine is relatively straight. Your chin is tucked back. The crown of your head reaches up towards the heavens. There's space underneath your armpits. There's space between your fingers. And if it feels right, you can place your tongue against the back of your teeth or on your hard palate, right behind your teeth. This is a typical Qigong stance. And as we did seated before, let's take a moment to just be with ourselves. And again, notice how we feel. Taking in a breath, going internal, and being quiet. Now, I thought it might be fun to actually try to hold chi. So I want you to shake your hands out. Just let your wrists be loose. If you tend to have problems with your wrists, if you have carpal tunnel and this bugs you, don't do it, stay in Qigong stance. So we're going to let all that energy go down to our hands, down to our fingers. And then bringing your hands in front, flap your hands up and down. Just moving everything. And then side to side. And then allow your palms to be across from one another. And you might notice that there's a tingling or a sensation between your hands. You can try to find the distance where you feel that greatly. And if you're thinking to yourself, I don't know what she's talking about, then I want you to imagine that you're holding a balloon. And as you press into the balloon, it pushes back. That's the sensation of holding chi. And if that image doesn't relate to you, imagine you're holding a warm ball of fire. You can feel the heat. Maybe it sends you farther apart. Maybe it draws you in. And play with that. Just see where you feel it most. So this is a way to build your energy. There's a point in your hands, right in the center of the palm, called Gong, which means palace of toil. We use our hands to work in life, so it's an appropriate name. And it's a gathering point for energy. It's also another chakra. You might relate to it that way. So this is a way to acquire, to build chi for your chi bank. Now, what we can do is we can do a whole body breathing with this holding of chi. So as we do this, what I want you to do is open your hands, inhale and expand. And as you exhale, allow your energy to sink and bring that energy in towards one another, towards yourself. So as you inhale, you expand your energy to all the corners of the room. Sorry. And as you exhale, you come back to yourself. Again, inhale and expand. And then exhale, returning to you. And we're going to continue to do that, but don't make the physical movement as large. So inhale, expand your energy, but don't move your body as much. And then breathe out again, coming to center. Inhale and expand. And exhale, back to who you are. And one more time, as you do it this time, try not to move your body much. Inhale, expand your energy, but hold in place. Breathing in and out. We can expand who we are without even making this movement. Take one more breath. And when you breathe out, bring your hands down to your lower belly. I feel so far away, but I wanted you to see my feet. And we're building up our chi bank when we do this. Good. And between exercises, what I'd like us to do is a harmonizing breath. Many of you know this. You're going to turn your palms outward. This is sort of a punctuation in between each movement. You're going to inhale, raising your arms up, gathering all around you, bringing in the energy of the heavens above, through the palms of your hands on top of your crown. You're going to breathe out and let that energy wash through you. As you come down. And when you reach your lower belly, your hands go back down, fingers down to the earth. Good. So that's the first exercise, holding chi and full body breathing. The next exercise I'd like to show, we still want to hold a chi ball, but this time it's vertical. And so you want your wrist straight, your elbow drop down, and your shoulders is relaxed. I just want to avoid that kind of thing. Good. All right, this exercise is about transformation. It's about digestion. It's about physical digestion in the body as well as mental processing. Here we go. The top hand is going to come down and move to the side while the bottom hand comes up and at the level of the chest will turn overhead, reaching up towards the heavens. So the palm is up towards the sky, the other hand is down towards the earth. Turn your palms towards one another, and you're going to breathe out as they cross. And inhale as one palm goes down to the earth and the other connects with the heavens. Good. Breathing out. And as your hands pass, you want to inhale. Hands to center. Breathing out. Good. And inhale. Coming to the center, to your midline. Exhaling. And take a breath. Good. Coming to your middle. Taking a breath. Now coming to your center, this time, if it feels comfortable, you're going to shift your weight into the side where you press down to the earth and your heel on the other foot comes forward. Good. Coming back to center, you shift to your middle, breathing out, shifting to the other side, and inhale as you connect heaven and earth. Coming to center, breathing out, and inhale. Good. Exhaling, coming to your middle, and inhale. And we'll do one more on each side. Breathing out. Think about absorbing all that is around you. Last one, you're going to breathe out. Connect with heaven and earth and think I can digest everything. And now come to your center, holding that chi ball. Bring your hands down. And let's harmonize again by gathering all around us. And this time, as that energy washes through, think about clearing anything you need to let go of. Great. And the last exercise is about centering. It's about regulating. So your palms are up. It's actually nice and simple. You don't need to see my feet anymore. What we're going to do is we're going to inhale, gather energy around us, and with your thumb on the inside, you're going to go down the center of your body to rest down where the other hand is, and your other hand moves around. Inhaling, coming up, and exhaling as you go down. Taking a breath. Think about centering as you breathe out. Inhaling up. I always think about coming back to me. Taking a breath. Coming in. Feeling grounded as you exhale. And once more, inhale coming up. Exhale coming down. Let your hands drop to your side. I like Christy was ready to do more. We're going to inhale and gather again. And this time we're going to do 3 harmonizing breaths. So as you breathe out, allowing all the energy in the universe to wash through you. Good. And take another breath. There's so much to take in around us. And we can use the energy of the stars to help us to feel aligned within our mind and our heart and our physical body. And one more breath. Inhaling, coming up. And as you exhale, think about connecting your mind and heart and place of vitality, your chi, placing one hand on your lower belly, the other hand on top. This seals in the energy that we just built. So you're adding to your chi bank. And the movement actually helped you in moving the flow of chi through your body, moving anything that's stuck. When you're ready, come take a seat again. Don't rush, take your time getting here. I feel a slow pace, so I don't want to rush things. Okay. So, how was that? Good, I got head nods and thumbs up. All right. All right. Anybody in particular want to share what that did for them, how they feel? Raise their hand. Susie, go on mute.
I love, especially the third one for me. I can be really scattered. I have a lot of air, a lot of mutable energy. And that one, it just feels so amazing every time I do it. So thank you. And I love how you guided us. And I love that little laugh. You laughed. I felt like joy in my soul.
Nice. Thanks. Anybody else? You could type in the chat if you don't feel like talking. It's too early.
Grounding and balancing.
Nice. Thank you, Karen. Beautiful words. Was there any exercise in particular? Oh, Jackie, I saw your hand like coming up there.
No, I just wanted to thank you and say it was palpably calming to my system. And yeah, it's amazing. Like the slower it goes, the more deeply it feels like it enters. So I just want to thank you for going slowly because I loved it.
Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you.
And Ellen just typed in, this made me feel very peaceful. Those are the things that I experience, Christy.
I feel more energetic, which is wonderful. Like, especially first thing in the morning. It's wonderful. I feel more expansive and more energetic, and I love this.
Fabulous. You know, I have a regular practice. There were so many things I wanted to say that I've already forgotten, but I have a regular practice in the morning, and I do it to align myself, stay centered, and either to calm or when I need energy, I sometimes will alter some of the exercises or the pace or my intention, and that changes it for me. Yeah. So thanks, Julie. I like that it can build and hold. Yeah, I appreciate that. And Janet's joined. She was getting her shot, but just listening, so cool. And thank you. I appreciate your comment that my voice is soothing. So could you picture this being a useful tool in your life? Excellent.
And take it anywhere.
Well, it's interesting. I've done this sitting on airplanes, just expanding chi, sitting, breathing, and suddenly I don't feel as stuck in place. And my daughter the other day wasn't feeling up to par, and yet she listened to me do my Facebook class and said she did it in bed. So lovely, Barbara. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that you could imagine doing it every day. Is there any question that you have about any of the exercises? Because I'm looking at the time and going, I don't want to run too late here. I want to honor our time together. I know we began just a moment or two later, but all right. Well, so my interest in sharing and supporting energy, it's about a way to live your life and be in alignment with yourself. And it's about finding mobility, flexibility, strength, resilience, a peacefulness, a calmness, things that you guys have actually said is how I use this in my life. So if any of you are interested, I have a handout that I can send if you'd like a verbal description. Thanks, Barbara. Professional and clear, all right, feeling good. I have a handout, and I will, if you email me, I will be happy to send this to you. But meanwhile, what I would like to do now is go back to sharing. There are those words again that we had before. And let me advance just one more. And you can see there's my website as well as my email address. So just a quick overview. Qigong is wonderful to actually move your energy, build that vital force, allow things to be free flowing, and build into the Qi bank. If not only can you send me an email for a request for the information, but it might be interesting to try practicing this in your own life. Take one of the exercises and just do it for 2-3 minutes in your day. And do it for 2 or 3 weeks. See what happens. Just notice what changes occur or how you feel after doing this, how your day goes. You can use it as a way of setting intentions for your day to proceed. What else can I say? There were other things I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I do a weekly class on Facebook on Friday mornings at 10 in the morning. It's been a free class. It was something that I could give to the world when the pandemic started. And we've continued doing it. And so now it's by donation only, and I pay it forward, giving a portion of that to a local food bank as well. And so if you're interested in that class, you can also find that information of the Facebook link, or it's Dr. Dorene Hyman, DACMLAC. It's too long. Go to the website and you can check it out. I'm going to continue talking for just a minute or two, but what I'd love to do, and let me see if I can find this, is there's a feedback form, and I am going to post this in the chat. And let me stop this share. Let me put this to everybody. Oh, it's not coming. Let's see. Let me try that one more time. This will eventually be part of our process, but Springboard is kind of new. So there we go. If you, now it posts how many times I hit the button? Well, if you didn't notice it before, it's there now. So if you go to that spot, you can actually get the form. And we can do it while we're still online, guys, if that's okay with you, because feedback's really helpful for a teacher. And that way I have clarity in how I reached you. And in addition, it'll give you an opportunity to tell me what you might be interested in. And meanwhile, I'm going to talk to you about other programs that I have on Springboard that at the time I didn't realize, but I was putting together ideas of tools for life. So there's a short video on making vegetable broth. There's another, which is a great way to add more nutrients to your life, to your food. And it's good for the environment. There's also an homage to my teacher, Virginia Sandlin, who introduced me to the toolbox, which is by Dovetail Learning, a way of dealing with your emotions and how to be a good person in the world, how to again, align within yourself. And then there's another program on food and directionality, how the energy of food, the properties of food, move through the body and support us in our life and our health. And when you're done with the form, come on back just for goodbyes so that I can see you. But I don't want to take you away from that. I am planning a new class with the idea of actually cooking a dish together where we can actually talk about the energetics of the foods, the properties, as well as discuss cooking techniques. I'm really a lot about food, so. All right. So I hope I'm getting lovely private messages. What's the name of this class is called, you can call it Tools for Life, an introduction to Qigong. And I really appreciate that you guys are doing this. It really is helpful. So I'm very excited to be in this program, to be on this platform. It's a great way to put out new ideas and share with the world. So definitely be looking for more and come back on and even check out not only the programs I mentioned to you, but we really have a wonderful community here. Hi, Patty. All right, I don't want to keep you guys too long. So it is 20 after the hour, whatever hour you're at. We're a little over time because of filling out the form. But again, I really want to thank you for being here. I appreciate your coming and sharing. It's a subject that is dear to my heart. Namaste. And with the words of George Lucas, may the force be with you.